Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Alien Xenomorph from Agora. We got stage 53, which is more work on the left hand. This is the second stage of the left hand. Here we have the stage 51 part of the right hand, or part of the left hand, the first half of it. So let's get out the parts. We have the skin for the radius, for the forearm basically. We have part of the hand, a little bag, three fingers. Make sure this is empty. Sorry about the crinkling from the bags, they are noisy, I know. So open the little bag and there should be a connector, some magnets, and a couple of screws. So we've got the screws, we have the magnets, and the connector. And for the first part, what they I believe the first thing they want you to do, separate the magnets from the rest of the parts. What you're going to do is take your magnets and you're going to glue them into the wrist or into the skin. Thing about the magnets is they are not the permanent holding feature of this. This is just to help you hold the skin in place when you're positioning it. So I'm not real concerned with how well they're going to stay in there. I'm not going to use the black super glue, which is flexible. I'm going to go ahead and just use the regular super glue. I'm going to put a dot into each of the locations. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 locations, 6 magnets, which means I need 6 of my other magnets because this has worked out really, really well for me in getting these in position and keeping them where I want them. I'll go ahead and let it stay there. So let me put a drop of glue into each of these. This is, I don't know if anybody else has started doing this, but it works, as far as I'm concerned, fantastically. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's all 6. Get one magnet, see if it'll stay there. Get another magnet, and I'm setting these far away from the parts. And so what I've done is I just stuck a magnet on the outside. It's going to hold the magnet in place inside. The key is to get this magnet, the next magnet, down in here. And it doesn't matter which way they go right now, because when you put the magnets on the inner structure of the arm, that is what's going to hold it. Or is this magnet is going to determine which direction that magnet faces. So let me set this one over here. Crawl up underneath there. This is the only tricky part to this, is making sure that you get the magnet, let go, this outer magnet in place, and the inner magnet in place before it hooks to the outer magnet, and make sure that it does not shoot off over the other magnets that are already in place. With the magnet's not wanting to release. With the little magnets on the outside, it's going to keep the larger magnets, which by the way are not that strong, from jumping over onto the other ones. Not sure what type of magnets they used on here. What I'm using is actually neodymium rare earth magnets. They're really super strong. One of these, the size of, well, let's see, for sake of argument, put this one in place first. And we'll just set that aside to dry. One of the neodymium magnets, the size of, say, hang on, behave. You can see how much they want to lock into stuff. But if you take two of them about this size and you put your hand between them and you slide them together, you're liable to lose your hand. They are that strong. So we're going to set the skin aside, and now we're going to go work on the other hand, or the other half of the hand. And we have L5. So this should be, let's see where it's at. Yep, L4, and this will be L6. And they're going to go 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6, just like these went 1, 2, 3. And these will actually join together just like that. So let's take 4. Let's take 4 instead of 5. And I'm going to do similar, if I can, there it is, to what I did last time. Need a little bit more glue. And in case you haven't figured out, I filmed these back to back. I just finished the stage 52 and then started stage 53. Gives me a lot of content in just a couple hours on a weekend, which is why when I say it's been a while since I've worked on something, it really has been a while since I've worked on something. Okay, so I didn't dry fit it. Shame on me. But if you watched the last video, you saw that it went south anyway. One of the pins broke, so it didn't really matter. The problem is the pins are the same color as the plastic, and so it's hard to see them. I've got older eyes, but you can see it went in there just perfect. Let me run a little bit of glue along the inner edge here. One of these days when I run out of this stuff, I will actually finally... No, this is the black. This is the black. I've got another one of these for the clear super glue hanging around somewhere. Got a little pipette on it, but I'll start using that instead. So we're going to do the same thing here. I could probably get away with just on the lugs that I didn't show you at all in this video, but I've shown in other videos. Just thought about that. Probably just put the glue on those lugs, but I like to put it on the seam as well. I'll show the lugs on the last finger. That one's lined up. Come on, good in place. Come on. There we go. Both of them at the same time. And actually, right there, you can see there is a little bit of glue in that seam that's visible. Not going to matter. Don't think anybody is going to be looking that closely at the hands. Make sure this is going to fit in place. A little bit of effort. Yes, it is. And there are the lugs that these pins are going to go into. It's kind of tricky filming this one because as I'm working, I have the PDF for the instructions up on the screen. And I have a decent sized screen. I think it's a 32-inch monitor, but the problem is I've got, I'll point directions. I've got one in front of me to the left, one screen in front of me to the left. The other screen is straight to my left, which means looking over at either of them while building is problematic. And there, that's in place. So let's get back on screen. One screen is right here. One screen is actually back over there. Okay, so we've got the fingers. And what it might be is time for me to do what I've done before, which this is the work area. Last year, or probably about 6 months ago, I shifted from the work surface that's right over there. So I might have to shift back over to that work surface. Before I can do that, though, I need to replace my main lights in here, my main overheads, because they flicker. When I film with them, they flicker. Okay, so the last part to do on the wrist or on the hand in this stage is to put this to connect it together. Next step they say to do is line up this connector together. This connector from the last stage is going to go in this slot right here. The kicker on this, though, is... Oh, okay, it did go in. I was going to say it doesn't like to go in because it's tight. It is a little bit difficult to get it in there. It takes a little bit of effort. So there you've got the two braces in there, or connectors, however you want to call it. We get the screws out. We're going to put 3 screws in. We already have one in. Put the spare away. This is actually nice. I like the fact that there are not a billion different types of screws in the Alien build. The other build, you end up with so many different kinds of screws. I've gotten to the point where I've stopped putting them into containers to try and sort them out. I just take the little envelope. If it's a Ziploc, I take the little envelope and throw it in the box where I've got all my parts stored while I'm building. Second or third screw, first screw on the second connector. Last screw, and then we're going to go back, make sure everything's tight. I wonder if you can see that. That is, I find the screws that they did on the Alien are kind of unique because they're flat. The screw tops are flat, which I think that's probably, there's something to be said about that. You get your screwdriver down in there, you know you're not on the part of the screw that's just the curved upper surface. These screws tend to stay on the screwdriver once you have the screwdriver in there really well. Go back, make sure these are tight. And so there we go. We have the hand. We have the start of the arm. And you can see the magnets are holding these in place. This is probably set enough that I can work with it by now, but I'm going to let it be. We'll just set that up there, and it'll probably be sitting there in the next video. So that is all there is to do in stage 53 of the Alien Xenomorph build from Agora Models. And now let me keep going with what I was going to say. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new videos. Leave a comment. Really appreciate comments, and I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for watching the video if you've made it this far. If you haven't, no big deal. What was I going to say? Hope you're enjoying the build. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and we will see you in the next video.